everyone, Jason here. So I'm out in Algonquin Park and I just finished off a canoe trip. If you want to see the canoe trip itself, then you can check out the link above. Phenomenal sunset near the end of it that is definitely worth seeing. But that's not the purpose of this video. So this is the end. This is the last day of the trip. And one thing I've learned over the years is to always take some time to just relax and not do YouTube. And the reason is YouTube takes away from the experience of what I'm sharing. So I'm always running around with a camera filming everything, and so I don't actually get to see it until I'm reviewing the footage. And that's kind of what this YouTube video is about. Over the last month or two, I've been getting a lot of messages, emails or messages on social media asking me about YouTube and whether it's worth it. You know, questions like, how much money do I make? How to get more views? How much time do I spend making videos? Lots of questions. Everything you could think about. So I thought that I would do, at least a video, probably a series of videos about creating content for YouTube, and hopefully what I share is good information for you. So a bit of a background if you're just tuning in. I've been doing YouTube since 2009, and it wasn't until probably September this year that I really started to focus on YouTube, and to where I would call myself a YouTuber. At the moment I've got around 11,000 subscribers, maybe a little bit more than that, and yeah, the channel's growing at a reasonable pace. There is a lot that I've learned over the years, and I'm still learning a lot. So I'm going to start off with, should I do YouTube videos? Basic question, one that I get asked. Okay, now to answer that, I think the best advice I could give is, if you're thinking about doing YouTube videos, aside from knowing what type of content you want to create, you need to love one of two things. The first thing is, you need to love being in front of the camera, okay? The second thing is that you need to love running the camera, all right? Or you need to love both of them. If you don't love being in front of the camera, you can learn to behave like you love being in front of the camera. If you don't love running a camera, well, you're going to need to learn how to run a camera. And the fact that you are comfortable in front of the camera will help just smooth everything out. If you're comfortable doing both, then great. Okay? And the reason is, doing YouTube videos is a lot of work, okay? It really is. If you're doing just short 2 or 3 minute videos, then really you're looking at probably 2 hours to do the video. You're going to do your filming and your narrative, and then you're going to do your editing and your uploading, okay? And it's going to take you about 2 hours to get it done. If you're looking at doing longer content, you can really be looking at working for half a day to a day. If you're thinking about doing stuff like this, canoe trips or hikes, it's going to be days, right? Every day that you're out, and then you have all this footage, and then you're going to spend a day or two going through it, doing all of your editing. So you really need to love running a camera and editing if that's your plan, okay? You can learn all these things, but you need to love it, all right? Okay, so regardless of what your content's going to be, whether you're going to be the bushcrafter or the camper or the canoe builder or the knot tire or the fishing guy or, the furniture maker or the basket weaver, candle maker, musician, whatever your content's going to be, you need to love creating content. It's not enough to just love what you're doing, because when you start creating content, you're going to be focusing more on running the camera than doing what you enjoy doing. And that's a big thing that a lot of people don't understand. So I started off with YouTube with canoe building, and I love canoe building. Doing YouTube videos around canoe building actually takes away from the process of the canoe building, because I'm always focused on, getting the right camera angle, or, the narrative that I'm going to use to describe the process, or, how do I look in front of the camera? All these little things, lighting, sound, all that stuff that makes a better YouTube video. That's what I'm focused on now. Before, when I was just building canoes, I was focused on building the canoe, the shape of the canoe, the design, how each cedar strip would be laid out, doing book matched wood, or, different colored strips, using, basswood or pine or walnut to create, colorful emphasis within, that boat. Now, running the camera and, audio, and doing all of the other, content creation processes, it's difficult to focus on the actual creation of the boat, because, my focus is on the camera. So creating videos takes away from what you love to do, and so you need to be prepared for that. And that's why, the last few months, I really realized that I need to take time when I'm out in places like this to stop doing videos and just enjoy the moment, get back to what I like doing. If I can build a YouTube channel, if it can become profitable, if it can do all of that stuff that, is the bonus of doing it, then that's great. And if I can also have time still doing what I love, the camping and the canoe building, then that's great, And then if I can also do the filming, and camera operating that I love, then that's great. And so instead of trying to push it all together as one, I'm doing it as one, but then I'm also trying to segment it, within my life into different parts, so that I don't lose what I really love about each thing all the time. So about those two things, right? Being in front of the camera and operating the camera. I'll tell you, I hate being in front of the camera. That's my downside. I hear my voice, and ever since I was a kid, and I, heard my voice in, whatever audio recordings, I would think, oh, is that my voice? That's horrible. So I hear my voice and I don't like it. I see myself, and I criticize, how I look. I hear my words, my narrative, and how many times I say, or and when I can, I'll edit those out. But when I go to edit, I hear it and I think, wow, I say, a lot, or that type of thing. So I hate being in front of the camera, and I hate editing footage of myself because I see all those faults. I think that's the same with a lot of people. You point a camera at a lot of people and they're like, no way. So you're going to have to get over that. But you can learn, right? And there's a lot of things, little things that help to be in front of a camera. I've always loved photography and started to really love film and video within the last 5 years. And so that is, my thing. And because I love that so much, I don't mind being in front of the camera because there's nobody else to point the camera at. So, I get the camera set up and I'm the person that has to be there. So there's the trade-off. And so that's the thing. You either need to love being in front of the camera or running the camera. But if you don't love either of those, you can learn one or the other. And if you love both of them, then you're set. So hopefully that makes sense. Should you start doing YouTube? I guess the only other thing I would say, and it's probably also one of the most important things, is don't do it for the money, okay? It's very difficult to make any money at all from YouTube, and when you start to earn, it's small amounts. You need to be very lucky or very talented. You know, sure, there are some people like Sean James or Peter McKinnon, you know, who came onto the YouTube scene and had successful channels right away. And good on them, you know, like they like both seem like great guys, and I can see how their channels became so successful. But that's not the case for most people, right? So that's why you either need to love being in front of the camera or love running the camera, because you're not going to get rich doing it. But if you love one of those things and you can combine it with something else you're passionate about, then you can have a lot of fun making content. So, yeah, does that make sense? Anyway, let me know if this is a benefit to anybody, you know, if it makes sense to you, and if you want to know any of the ins and outs about YouTube from my experience. I don't mind sharing it. You know, I'm growing and I'm learning, but maybe I know a few things, you know, from, you know, the, almost 10 years that I've been creating content that might help you out. So if you want to know, leave a comment below this video, because otherwise I won't know that you want to hear that information, and I'll be more interested in doing this stuff. All right. So anyhow, thanks for watching.